Can we discuss Guerschon Yabusele? He has been playing out of his mind recently. Last 4 games, he has been huge. 17 points, 4 steals versus San Antonio Spurs. He was a big reason why they were still able to win that game despite Embiid getting ejected. And then against the Boston Celtics, 12 points off the bench, 2 3-pointers. And then against Utah, he was incredible hustle-wise, 8 rebounds. 12 points off the bench once again. And then, of course, yesterday, he was arguably the player of the game. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, 1 steal, 2 3-pointers once again. So the last 4 games, he's averaging 14 points per game. Obviously, the dunk on Denny Avdia was one of the best plays of the night, but honestly, I enjoy this post-up on a 7'8" giant. I know he's not 7'8", but it seems like Clingan is 7'8", and Guerschon doesn't even care. He just goes right at him, and he gets the bucket. Not only that, but look at him. He's celebrating, and he's saying he's too small. You got to love the cockiness. And get this, 30 post-ups this year for Guerschon, and he's 12 of 16, 75% according to NBA.com. And I remember in the beginning of this season, I was like, the Sixers should try to post him up, and that was like not even in their offense. But now it seems like every single game, at one point, he at least gets one post-up opportunity. And Paul George is really beginning to trust him. When Paul George sees him on a smaller player, he's feeding him. I would love to see everyone else have that trust in Guerschon, because that type of efficiency is out of this world if we're being real. So he deserves more touches in the post region. And of course, when he gets on the floor, it's just nonstop hustle from him, going for loose balls. If there is a ball on the ground in his area, he's diving for it. No questions asked. You love to see it. And it turns out he is second on the Sixers, 22 loose balls recovered. Paul George tied with Paul George. And then Kelly Oubre leads the team with 25. But Kelly Oubre has 973 minutes played. Guerschon has 710 minutes played. So if Guerschon got more minutes, he would easily be leading in this category. Same with Paul George, only 632 minutes played. And to put this stat into perspective, the leader in the league is, of course, Dyson Daniels. He's the leader in deflections, all these types of categories. 30 loose ball recovers in 974 minutes. And of course, another hustle stat to look at is offensive rebounds. 2.8 offensive rebounds for Andre Drummond leads the team. And then Guerschon is second, 1.7 offensive rebounds. And then Kelly Oubre and Joel Embiid are tied with 1.6. And the thing about him when he gets in these offensive rebounding situations is you can trust him because he's reliable to go back up. He's super efficient around the rim like we went over, but also he's smart. He can make a pass out. He's not going to turn over the ball like Andre Drummond. When he gets an offensive rebound, I'm scared he's going to shoot it and miss it. And I'm also scared he's just going to get it poked loose. But with Guerschon, you can really trust him. And I think one of the reasons the Sixers are winning lately is you can trust the Sixers lineup without Joel Embiid way more compared to the beginning of the year. And I think the duo of Tyrese Maxey and Guerschon Yabusele are a big part of that. And one of the assets that Yabu has that is helping lineups just sustain or even go on a run without Embiid on the court is his ability to pass in the short roll situation, or just honestly any type of situation. He has a great feel with the basketball, and you can trust him to make the right play. You know what I'm saying? Either score or pass. And that's not the only thing he brings to the table. The pick and pop aspect is a huge thing. And then defensively, he can switch onto pretty much anyone. You see him here take it from Jason Tatum. Come on now. He helps their defense as well. The only problem would be they lack rebounding at times when he's at center, but he really gives them a lot of offensive flexibility and defensive flexibility. And I swear, at the beginning of the year, that terrible start may be a blessing in disguise, especially for someone like Tyrese Maxey, because he was facing double teams, triple teams, and he was struggling with consistency. But now Paul George, Embiid is back. He can kind of chill in the Embiid minutes here and there. He's going to do the two-man game, of course, but he's going to have way more energy. And also, when it's only Maxey out there, he's going up against bench units. And you're seeing these bench units for the Sixers without Embiid actually doing well, which is very surprising considering our past without Embiid. So 8-2 in the last 10 games. 13 minutes played, this lineup, Tyrese Maxey, Caleb Martin, Yabusele, Kelly Oubre, Paul George, 160.7 offensive rating, 107.4 defensive rating. Now let's go to a lineup that should be terrible, like Reggie Jackson, Kyle Lowry, Yabu, Caleb Martin, Tyrese Maxey, 147.6 offensive rating, 100 defensive rating. I mean, realistically speaking, you put Reggie Jackson and Kyle Lowry on the court together, that should be a terrible lineup. But guess what is holding that lineup together? The duo of Maxey and Yabu, and they're putting up insane offensive numbers. Obviously, these are small sample sizes, so you can't really take them serious. But this is the type of stuff you want to see, and you want this to translate to the playoffs, because if you are able to stay alive or just keep the game even in the minutes without Embiid, you're cooking something. And another stat I want to bring up is he's averaging 1.9 screen assists per game, 4.8 screen assist points per game. That is on par with Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's averaging 28 minutes per game, 24 minutes for Yabu. Joel Embiid 2.1 screen assists, and then 5.4 screen assist points. And of course, that's not for the whole entire season, because early in the year, Yabu is not putting up those types of numbers in the screen assist category, but that is for the month of December when the Sixers have really found their rhythm. And that just tells me the Maxey and Yabu connection is really cooking, because that's where Yabu's screen assists come from. Also, I want to point out some good news involving Joel Embiid and Yabu lineups. I feel like in the beginning of the year and when Embiid first came back, it really wasn't working. They weren't getting that productive of minutes. But in the last couple games, Utah game and also Portland, obviously bad teams, I've thought they have played really productive minutes as a unit with Yabu and Embiid next to each other. And you love to see that because it brings a lot of size to the team. So Paul George, Joel Embiid, Kelly Oubre, Yabusele, Tyrese Maxey. This is in the last 4 games. I filtered the last 4 games. 8 minutes played, 121.1 offensive rating, 111.1 defensive rating. Pretty solid. And then you go to Joel Embiid, Kelly Oubre, Yabu, Caleb Martin, Tyrese Maxey, 114.3 offensive rating. Very good. And then 80 defensive rating. That's amazing. And then we go down to Paul George, Joel Embiid, Yabu, Caleb Martin, and Tyrese Maxey, potential starting 5. Only 5 minutes played, 166.7 offensive rating, 109.1 defensive rating. But the reason I bring that up is because early in the season when I saw Embiid and Guerschon out there, it just kind of looked weird and it wasn't passing the eye test. But that Utah game and Portland, it was passing the eye test, and also the numbers are backing it up. So I'm excited to see a little more of it going forward, but Guerschon is an absolute home run signing. Hopefully, somehow, some way, they scramble enough money in the offseason to keep him around long term.